Thank you all for being here this evening. This is the 2024 annual meeting for the Mueller Property Owners Association. Again, thanks for being here. My name is Brian Delozal. I am currently the Master Board President and also the Mixed Use Board President, but that won't be the case for much longer. So I'm very, very happy about that. But whoever is going to take over my position, they're in good hands. We have a lot of special activities here this evening. If you've been to one of our annual meetings before, we've decided to change it up a little bit this year for a number of reasons. We are introducing new mixed-use board members that will take the majority of the governance of the POA going forward. We will also be announcing a new management company, and Mueller is celebrating 20 years. It was in 2004 that yes, deserve a round of applause. It was in 2004 that the Master Development Agreement was signed between the City of Austin and Catellus. And so a lot has changed in 20 years, and you'll see after we go through this meeting, I'll come back and give an update in terms of the development. But I'm going to walk you through some of the pictures from 2004 to 2024, and you can see how the community has changed quite a bit during that period. As we get started here this evening, again, just a couple housekeeping reminders for those who are arriving not late, but after some other folks have. We do have unisex restrooms on either side of this podium if you need them. In addition to the bar that's located here, there's one in the concession stand, and if you ordered a special meal as part of the RSVP process, those special meals are actually in the concession stand, so help yourself there. We also have mocktails this evening that kind of represent Mueller, and at the end we're going to do a champagne toast to celebrate the past 20 years, but also the 20 years before. It's actual real champagne. I'm trying to think if there's any other housekeeping items. Desiree or Joe, is there anything else? Desiree or Joe, is there anything else you wanted me to say housekeeping wise? All right, then let's go ahead and get started. As part of this evening's function, we also wanted to do a little bit of trivia and kind of remind people of some of the history of the community. And we have some prizes to give away this evening as part of that. And so the first question this evening is, how many floors make up the former control tower? Whoever, to the first hand here, go ahead, sit down. 7. That's not correct. Who's got another? No. Go ahead, Andrew. No. Go ahead, ma'am. No, Mateo? 2? The make of the floors of the tower? Control tower? No. Go ahead, ma'am. No. 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 Who said 9? 9 is the answer. And for each of the prizes this evening, a $50 gift card to one of our local businesses here in Mueller. We will also do drawings for those, all of you who participated in either voting or turning in your proxies this evening. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Joe Ristuccia, our community manager. He's going to walk you through some of the details, and I'll be back here in just a little bit. Thanks again for being here.
Okay, I'm going to do one of those dumb commercial things. Can you hear me? Great. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and I want to make sure you understand what's happening this evening. You are turning your community over to the residents. Control. This is really, really important. It's a great step for the community, and moving forward, you as residents out here will be able to decide what's going on with the community. And it's really, really important. I'm glad to see we have as many people out here as we have, and I appreciate everybody coming out. And let's kind of move forward here. The first thing we have to do is, this is the agenda for the master meeting. The master meeting is going to take very quick. There's no business to conduct other than approval of the minutes from last year, and I'm sure everyone remembers specifically what was in last year's meeting. But anyway, we did send this out to you with the packets that you got by mail. So just take a real quick second to look these over, and I need someone to make a motion and a second to approve the minutes? Okay, we've got a motion, got a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and anyone, is there any objection to these? If not, let's hear a loud yay. Are the minutes approved? Yay. Thank you very much. And this is the agenda for tonight's meeting. When you came in, you got a packet, and much of what's in this presentation is in the packet. We're doing a celebration tonight for a number of reasons, and again, mainly because of the turnover. But I want to go through this fairly quickly. We'll deal with it, and then I'll provide some information to you. But again, you'll have this information in your packet. You can take a look at it afterwards if you have questions. I have business cards up there with my email address. Go ahead and email me. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Also, when you came in, you received index cards. Over the course of the meeting, if something prompts you to ask a question, just fill out that index card. We will collect them, and then I'll be able to look at those questions and answer them as best I can. Understand that those index card questions should be related to what we're talking about tonight. If there are other issues and concerns or anything like that, you can get with us separately and we'll take care of that. But I want to be able to answer as many questions about tonight's meeting as I possibly can. So what we're going to do first of all, we do have quorum. We have a requirement of a 25% quorum for the community. And last time I looked, we were at 33.7% quorum, so we've achieved that. And there again, that's one of the highest quorums we've had in a while, which indicates to me that you as residents understand the importance of what's going on tonight. And the packets were sent out timely. They were sent out 23 days before the meeting date. Our requirements by law are between 10 days and 60 days, so the packets were sent out timely. Brian, you want me to do this one? Okay, so I've got another trivia question for you. Name all 6 of Mueller's Gold in no particular order, and please don't everyone shout out at once.
Who gets the prize? The one who tells you the first one or the last one?
I know.
Yes. Can
diversity and affordability, economic development, East Austin revitalization, and environmental.
Look at that. Congratulations. Okay, here is a list of currently who's involved with the community. We've got the Master Association, the Mixed Use Board, which is what this meeting is for tonight, and then the ECTC Board, which is our commercial entities. I would like to introduce you to, or at least tell you who is on our staff. We have Andre back over there. Please raise your hand. He is our newest porter, and porters out here are incredibly important. Angela is at the sign-in table over there. She is our row home manager, and especially considering what we have going on right now with the roof replacements, I cannot tell you how happy I am to have her on board. Beck is over there. She's at our proxy table. She's my accounting manager. Desiree is floating somewhere. Where's Desiree?
Over here, Jim.
Okay, Desiree put this entire event together. She deserves 101% of the credit. I mean, this is not something I could do. I knew Desiree could, and again, I'm thrilled to have her on board. I'm thrilled to have everybody on board. This is such a great staff that we've got working with us. My name is Joe. I am the community manager. Lexi is up there also. She is our Yeah, she's the front office associate. She's the one who greets everyone they come in and answers the questions, answer phones and things like that. Lindsay is over there. She is sitting in front of the computer because she's taking minutes of the meeting. She's my administrative assistant. Roger, where's Roger? Roger Van Howen is our landscape manager. Stefan is over there in the blue shirt. He's another porter. We have Tom Hoff, who is he's our maintenance manager. And Vinton, who is our lead porter and has been in the community. Vinton, for how long? And Tom, how long have you been with Mueller? So these are the old guys. They've been around for a while. Okay, so these are the minutes from last year's meeting. As with the others, they were handed out. They were sent to you by the mailings, and they were in tonight's packet that you picked up. If you have just a couple of minutes to review them, take a look at them, and then we'll move on once we get a motion, a second, and approval. Okay, Brian motion, second. Midge, thank you. All those in favor, say aye. Thank you. All right, here's another trivia question. And you all are noticing about the Mueller's 20th anniversary that's popping up on all of these. I hope you all get a chance to attend. That's this weekend, Saturday, from 3 to 5. All right, Mueller POA's other sub-association is called the ECTC. What does ECTC stand for? And it took me a year to learn this. I'm slow. Kathy.
Technically nothing, but it's not defined, right? But employment center towns.
Correct.
Here we go. Thank you. Okay, so this is just a list of some of the things that we've been working on for this year. The order of them isn't necessarily critical, but I will tell you the row home roof replacements right now is paramount on a lot of people's minds. It's something that we have crews out there working day in and day out trying to get this accomplished for the row homeowners. It's a huge task. That storm hit just about I shouldn't say it just about, it hit every row home out here to one degree or another. We're doing both roof replacements and all the vents that go with it. We're doing exterior repairs and some interior repairs. The other items, again, you can read them, but I'll go through them real quick. We're doing pre-emergent weed control on our turf areas and some of the landscape beds. We've done a lot of tree replacements. We've replaced 128 trees so far this year. We have more to come. We do have a new management company that's going to come in and work with us. We are maintaining our pools and our waterscapes. Graffiti removal. Graffiti has become a major issue. So what we've done for next year, and we're doing a little bit of this year, we're going to have our graffiti removal company proactively drive the community every week looking for graffiti and cleaning it up. When they see a major project, then they'll get with us and get that taken care of too. But instead of waiting until after it's already happened and been out there for 3 weeks and we didn't know about it, they will know about it weekly. The playscapes, we've done some repairs of playscapes. We've got some more going on. Lake Park has what I call a saucer swing because I can't think of whatever else to call it. We've got a new one coming in to replace the missing one. We're doing a lot better in our responses to requests for repairs. We're upgrading our irrigation system, and what we're doing when a controller goes out, we're putting in, a smart controller, which allows us to access it by the internet. So we don't have to physically always be out there. And we've done a lot of paver repairs out on the Paseo and Town Square and over at Mueller Central. Thank you. The only shame about this is it's non-alcoholic. And that was a joke, please. We're going to be doing an updated reserve study this coming year. The management company is going to help us put together a strategic plan. We're going to transition them. We're continuing to work on erosion issues. And just to let you know, this presentation will be put onto Town Square. So it'll give you an opportunity to go back and look at it. And again, if you come up with any questions, we can do that. We can answer them for you. We're going to be doing a preventive maintenance program for the row homes. We're going to have more community events, and that again, Desiree is going to lead on that, and she does a phenomenal job with community events. Just to let you know, before coming here, I was with Steiner Ranch, and Desiree was working out there with me. I got to know her, and that's why one of the reasons I'm really thrilled that she's here, because I know what she can do. We're going to be working through the board leadership trainings and things like that, since Catellus is no longer controlling the community. We're trying to get our response times as quick as possible. We're a little bit slow right now because of the number of emails we're getting on row homes, but that will fix itself. We're developing a better or more comprehensive website. The one thing I need everyone here to do, please go into Town Square, make sure your email and phone number address are in your system, they're updated and they're current, because that's the best way for us to reach out to you. We need as many emails as we possibly can. All right, here's another question. In what year did Dilge Children's Medical Center, Mueller's first new building, break ground? Yes?
2009.
No.
2005.
Close. No.
2004.
Yes, right there. I'm sorry, I gave that one away. But anyway, there you go. Yes. Okay, so year to date, and there's a couple of things I want to talk about with this a little bit. These numbers, and again, I'm not going to go through everything. These numbers are from August of this year. We're still reviewing the September details. But right now it shows that we're about 54% of expenses. We've actually spent quite a bit more money in September and October. We've got about, that's the wrong one, sorry. We've got about $340,000 extra that we've spent in the landscape area. We've spent quite a bit of money on our irrigation repairs. Our irrigation system is expansive, it's huge, and it's old. And it needs to have repairs constantly. But again, once we're doing the controllers, we're bringing them up to technology, so that'll help us tremendously. And that $346,000 we spent was just in landscaping alone. We've enhanced our security, where they're out here more hours in the day, so we're spending more money in that area. And we're continuing to reserve or pay into the association for our reserves, so we're keeping up with all of that. We're still going to be good at the end of the year, but I will tell you that we have spent and will continue to spend more than 54% of our budget. All right, now this is the master budget for 2025. It was developed primarily by the budget committee, and again, they met over and over and over again, and I greatly appreciate the work that they've done. If we have budget committee members, can they stand up, please? I think we had about 6 two-hour each meetings with them over the course of a couple of months for them to be able to put this budget together. And again, you'll get a packet of this. What we're trying to show is that we do have some expenses increased. One of the things that we're looking at possibly doing is adding some additional staff over the course of 25. We know that our insurance is going to go up again and things along that line, but everything that we've done will allow us to increase our activity in the community and respond to you quicker and more efficiently. This is for the master. This is the budget for the pools. We have not increased the pool assessment at all. We're still maintaining, the two things that the pool committee is working on right now is they're working on developing shade structures for the pools to see if they can provide some relief from the sun and the heat for y'all. And they're also looking at possibly doing something to help cool the water so you're not swimming in 95-degree water in the middle of August. No promises there, but that's what they're working on. These are the row home budgets. Again, they have had a huge increase in their insurance premiums, primarily because of the second storm we got hit with in September of last year. But there again, we've increased their exterior maintenance, we've increased the landscaping, and they're putting a greater amount of money into the reserves than they ever have before. This is the garden homes, small department, but again, their main expense obviously is landscaping, but that's what we do primarily for them. We have the cottages, again, a small group of homes. There again, their landscaping is the highest priority or highest category of expenses for them. These are what the assessments are going to turn into in '25. You'll see that we increased the master assessment by $6. We increased the garden homes by $1, the cottage homes by $3. We've been able to give a small decrease for the row homes and the shop homes. And once we get the budget sent out to y'all, which we'll be doing shortly, you'll be able to understand more of that. You'll get a letter talking about the increases, and it'll explain some more detail about all of that. Okay, cool, another trivia question. The building where Aviator, B.D. Riley is one of my favorite restaurants out here, and Veracruz are located is referred to the Diamond Building. Why? Yes, sir.
This design that looks like a diamond.
Be more specific. What kind of diamond?
24 karat.
And I honestly do not know the answer to this, so I'm going to have to depend on Brian to tell me what's right. Yes?
An inch shape of baseball diamond.
That's it. Baseball diamond.
You getting the gift card out there? Okay, thank you. Okay, Karen, I'm going to ask you at this point in time to come on up. You have the microphone? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Karen Sharp, a neighbor. And I'm also have been chairing the transition committee, getting ready for this time when our governance changes from the developer to property owners. And also, we're also part of that transition has been preparing to have a new management company, which I'm about to talk a little bit more about. But first, I want to say that the transition committee is several people who worked very hard for 5 years. So I would like all the members of the transition committee that are here to stand up and be recognized. And would all the committee members for the POA and all the people who serve on the M&A steering committee also please stand up. This is a very active community and people get involved, and that's one of our greatest strengths. So thank you all who serve in those positions. So I mentioned that the transition committee has selected a new management company. And so the reason that was one of our major goals was because being almost fully built out, we needed a management company that could handle a neighborhood like ours that's as large and as complex as ours. So the transition committee started an RFP process in July, and we spent about a month developing an RFP with requirements for being responsive, which Joe talked about, for being able to handle landscaping issues that are complex, and just a variety of issues. And we had all kinds of people on the committee. We had some commercial owners on the committee, which was a great asset to us as well. The budget people, in addition to other committee members. So we gave the companies a month to respond. We only invited companies that we knew could do the job, just by the virtue that they specialize in large, complex associations. Then we spent a month evaluating the proposals, interviewing the 3 companies, and checking their references. So we had a unanimous decision to hire Cohere Management Company. There were many reasons that Cohere was our top pick. Again, they specialize in communities like ours, but they're also the right size. They're large enough to have the most current technologies, to have a deep bench of talent and a lot of experience, but they're small enough to prioritize Miller. So we felt like they were just the right size. They have great technology. I think you'll really appreciate the technology, the portals integrated with a website eventually. That work still has to be done, but communication is one of the things that Cohere really excels at, both the technical side and just the messaging side as well. Cohere offers better support for our on-site staff, and I think their name says it all, Cohere. They really, since we have started working with them and interacting with them, they really believe in cohesion of their own team. And they've already started to work, or beginning to work with our on-site team to develop a shared culture of service to our members. And they were the only ones who geared their proposal to Miller and actually did also know all the 6 founding goals of the neighborhood, in addition to Jim Adams. But probably the biggest selling point was the cultural fit, and the RFP team really felt like Cohere was the right cultural fit. Because of everything I've said about their emphasis on building a team and serving members in their professionalism. So with all that build up, I would like to introduce the person who's been our main contact with Cohere, and she is a regional VP with Cohere, and this is Christy Chesser.
I'm honored and to even get to be here and speak in front of everyone. And this slide is amazing. Thank you for all the love that you're showing Cohere. Appreciate this very much. But let me tell you why Cohere loves Mueller specifically. This community, I've watched Mueller for the past 20 years being an Austin resident and have studied it as being part of this industry of community management. And it's always been one that I've looked at and talked about and drove around even before it even became an opportunity, years before it became an opportunity, because it is so special and so unique. And we do know your goals. We know this community's goals. We know the importance of the staff. We know the support that they need. My goodness, the list of things that Joe went over for 2025, you guys absolutely need the all hands on deck, and that's what we're here for. So this partnership goes into effect on February 1st. And between now and then, there's a series of activities and tasks that we're going to be working on daily together, and in order to prepare for that day. And at the end of it all, what you can expect from us is exactly what's on this screen, improved communication and just partnership with you all in this. And that's even, we're going to present some opportunities to get together just in settings just like this and have some, what we call neighborhood cafes, just an opportunity to get to know each other and get to hear from you guys and what your specific priorities are and how in sustaining those goals. So thank you all. We are truly honored to be here. I forgot, I need to introduce a couple of people. Our CEO of Cohere is here. Todd Hornback. I'm so sorry. And then Tabitha Long, our VP of People Operations. They've also been doing this a very long time, right there building community inside of communities themselves, and then said, hey, let's make a company out of this, and we're doing just that. So thank you again, and congratulations to everyone tonight, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the future.
Go through a couple other items while Joe reviews questions. If anyone does have any questions, again, please be sure to write them down. Our team is in the process of collecting them. We want to give him an opportunity to actually, think about his answers before he just, collects them, and I'll continue as we go. So, some of you have seen this chart before. I know it's a little bit complex, but this is really kind of the chart that explains how the governance of Mueller works. And again, this will be in the packet. It should be in your packet. If it's not in your packet, it definitely will be available on Town Square as early as tomorrow. But essentially, the Master Board currently consists of 5 appointees from Catellus and 2 people who are elected. Those elected members are here this evening. Of course, that's Karen Sharp and Joe Denton. They're standing there next to the column. But what we're doing this coming year, in 2025, is we actually will have 4 appointed by the ECTC board and 3 appointed by the mixed use board. And we'll get into that in a second, but really the main thing for the mixed use meeting this evening is, again, 4 development representatives, 3 elected residents, but we're going to switch that with this election to 6 elected residential reps and then 1 developer rep. Does that make sense to folks? Great. Then we also, because we're also reaching in a level of occupancy on the commercial side with all the offices, etc., we're also going to be expanding the number of board members for the ECTC or the commercial board from 3 developer reps to 4 developer reps. We're going to have, instead of 2 elected commercial reps, we'll have 3 elected commercial reps, and that election will take place with the commercial entities in December. And then just to remind you, we have, of course, committee opportunities. There's usually about 5 to 7 members per committee. And if you are interested in serving on a committee, we certainly want you to contact the recruitment committee. They're more than happy to give you information. There's just a quick application process. And then if, let us know what you're particularly interested in or what your background is in, so we can kind of slot you in the right one. We have the Roham Committee, pools, events, recruitment, transition, modifications, which does have a little bit higher requirements in terms of architecture, landscape architecture, etc. background. And then, of course, the budget committee that Joe was talking about earlier. So because we are now essentially 90% occupancy of all of the residential side, that's why we're actually having the election here. As I mentioned, 6 elected board members and 1 Declaran, and that's really so that Catellus can really be guidance to the mixed use board as part of the transition period. We're going to get to questions here in just a second, but just kind of a reminder of how to get a hold of folks. Our phone number, 703-9202. The after-hour emergency number is a different number. Again, this will all be in your packet, 328-6100. Use Town Square for now, but with Cohere on board now, they will have a different portal, and we'll kind of walk you through that stuff as we have that information available. But if you are having questions about roads, bumps in the roads, or sidewalks, street lamps, etc., use 311 because the POA is not responsible for those items, just as a quick reminder for that. So, we have winners for the election. There were 7 candidates in alphabetical order here, and those that were voted in are Joe Freeland, Michael Jones, Tim Pelowski, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you, Tim. And Karen Sharp are our new youth board members. I do want to thank everyone who applied. Clearly, everyone who was applying has a love for this community. So thank you for your applications. And those who were not selected or voted in, certainly hope that you will either continue to participate or get on a committee and still be involved in the community as we go forward. Those 4 are added to Andrew Clements and Joe Denton, who are our returning mixed-use members. So let's, round of applause for them as well. They're serving, they're finishing up the first of 2 years now, so they will rotate out or have an election for their seats accordingly. Joe, do we have questions? Real quickly, I'm not going to go through this long list. Again, this will be in the packet. We do have a number of events. In the summer, the number of events seems to slow down because everyone wants to be inside. But as we started getting into October, November, December, it starts to get pretty busy around here. We do have one more KUTX Rock the Park event for the season. That is tomorrow evening. There are already plans for KUTX to come back for the spring and the fall of next year. The M&A yard sale is Saturday from 8 to noon. And then, as Joe mentioned, the 20th anniversary celebration will take place in Lake Park this Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. There will be a concert. Mayor Watson is going to come to read a proclamation and celebrate our 20 years. And a number of other activities, including a number of our Alder Street businesses, apartment communities, etc. will have handouts, giveaways. We'll be selling some items as well. The annual meeting materials should be posted by Monday, if not by this Friday. We also will have an election for the Row Home Committee. We haven't been able to get to that because we've been busy on so many other different things. But you'll see that in the Mueller Messenger here shortly. We'll be asking for applications for the Row Home Committee. So if you're interested in serving, there's an opportunity there. And just to remind you, the Transition Committee a few years back made a recommendation that the board approved that the Row Home Committee would be elected by Row Home members as opposed to just on a volunteer basis. So that's why we'll be doing elections for that. And then the rest of the items on here, we are doing the tower lighting again on December 3rd. That's one of those events that has been primarily done by Catellus, but we're transitioning over to the POA to take that on as we go forward and keep that as a community tradition going forward. Before we do this, I think we're going to go to questions. I'm sorry, we're ready for questions now. You are?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
Okay, so like Christy, I forgot to do an introduction here, but it wasn't my boss. This gentleman sitting right here is Clint Brown. He is the new POA attorney. He's with Roberts, Markell, Weinberg, Butler, and Haley. Cool. Just very happy to have him on board. Okay, so I do have some questions. I'm going to answer them as best I possibly can. These 2 questions here are about the terms of the mixed-use board members. They're generally 2-year terms, and they're staggered so that we don't lose the whole board at one time when the election takes place. And they are not term limited, but they can continue to run, or other people can fill in for them. I'm not sure how many board members really want to be on a board for a great length of time, so we want to be able to give them a break when it's appropriate. Okay, the existing management company for the POA is Associa, and I'm hoping my role won't change too much. This question is asking about the covenant revisions. Once they are completed and signed off on and filed with the county, which they will be, then yes, everybody will have access to them. We'll put them on Town Square. That's still a process that's being worked through. So as soon as they are available, we'll let you all know. There are no plans for another dog park at this point in time, but it is in discussion and will continue to be in discussion with the new board in '25.
Joe,
Yes, sir.
excuse me, sir, can you? Hi, I'll just mention real quickly, I know there's been a lot of questions in the community about a dog park, and the latest that we put in the newsletter is we are putting a pause on it. I believe you saw the pun intended, PAWS. The reason being is that there is a lot of people who are very interested in it, but there's a lot of passion against it as well. And so what we're going to be doing is creating a working group that will consist of residents who live adjacent to the proposed site, as well as residents who are big supporters of the dog park. Bring in Parks and Recreation Department, which owns the greenways, and a few other folks. It's going to take us a little time to figure out what that looks like, and what the goals are going to be, and how we're going to then, what are the next steps going to be associated with that. And maybe something can start in the next month or so, but we have a lot of the things that are priorities at the moment. So as Joe mentioned, maybe something we focus on early next year, but that's kind of where we're at right now. Just kind of taking a moment to come back and then kind of revisit the best way to move this discussion forward.
Okay, this question is from, this gives me an opportunity. This is a row home question. I'm going to answer in a second, but I want to just mention a couple of facts. This is not a row home meeting, but I know there's a lot of interest in this. We are approximately 55% completed on the roof repairs. Again, as I mentioned, we're still working on the exterior repairs, garage doors, window replacement, and all of that. We don't know, we're provided a list about a week ahead of time for when the roof repairs are going to be done on properties. We can't answer when your specific home is going to be repaired. We have to wait for the list from the roofing company. They know the sequence, what works best for them. So we will always notify you before your roof is being replaced, but we can't look out 3 weeks from now, a month from now, and determine which roofs are being replaced when. We are now just starting replacing some of the metal roofs. It's a really interesting process that they have because they actually manufacture the roofs on site and then install them. What else? Garage doors had started being replaced, but we had a little catch on that. The last truck full, oh, I lost me. Sorry about that. Is that good enough? I always love it when guys have to help dress me. The garage doors were on a truck by the manufacturer being delivered to Mueller, and there was an accident. And all of the garage doors on that truck were damaged. So they had to take them back, and they're remaking them, so that's going to give us a slight delay, but we'll continue moving forward with that. And another question that for some, another question that a lot of our homeowners want to know is about the deductible assessment, and these late questions are problematic. The assessment will go out early January. The statements for the assessments will go out early January. You will have 3 years to pay them off. If you've been lucky enough to get your full assessment paid by your insurance company, you can pay it off right away. We've actually had some checks come into us, but in the meantime, you'll have some time to do it. The decision was made to give you 3 years because of the size of the assessment, and that's what we did with the first year. And I did have a question on when the first year assessment's going to stop being charged. You actually only ended up paying 2 of the 3 years of assessments for the 21 storm because we were able to collect enough money due to really great negotiating on that first storm where we had money from the insurance company that can cover that first assessment. So that stopped after 2 years. So nobody's paying that first assessment. What taxes does the POA, the HOA pay, POA pay? We pay sales taxes, and just like everybody else. So, and that's a large expense, but those are the only taxes we pay because we're a nonprofit or not-for-profit organization. We don't pay federal taxes. I'm sorry?
Property tax.
Yeah, we pay, I'm sorry, we do pay property taxes also. And that's on all of the properties that the association owns, such as our parks and things along that line. What about the pickleball courts? That's something that will be discussed, I'm sure, in the future. And somebody asked about the graffiti artists, and can't we ask them to stop? No. If we could have, we would have. It happens all the time, and that's why we've got that preemptive graffiti review going on, that we're going to be able to clean it up much quicker. I'm not quite sure. Are the lawns ready for team? The lake park, we're trying to prevent sports teams from playing in Lake Park, especially the organized ones, because we're trying to bring that turf back up to a better quality. And the best way to do it is keep teams off of it, let the normal people play out there as they want to, but it'll reduce the wear and tear on the property. Someone asked about a good example of an after-hours emergency for the POA. We have people that are on call every week. We alternate them. So if an emergency call comes in, you're actually going to, and I'm not sure how Cohere does it, but you're actually going to an answering service that knows about Mueller. They will contact the person who is on call, and that person will determine if it's a real emergency. I will tell you that I've gotten calls at 10 o'clock at night that somebody got a deed restriction letter and was upset with it. That's not an emergency. We'll take care of that next business day. But if there's a large irrigation leak, or there's a fire or something along those lines, those are the ones that should be reported direct. The irrigation leak gets reported to us. We will have an irrigation crew out as quickly as possible to take care of it. Anything else, fire, injury, or things like that, please call 911 first, and then we can figure out after that what we need to be involved with it. But if it's a real emergency, call 911. I've gotten emails about emergencies on the weekends and things like that, and please get in touch with 911. I've got that. We've gotten a couple of questions on the pools and why we have lifeguards. And we have lifeguards because we have our pools as non-resident optional pools, have certain hours during the week. And it's strictly from the end of school for the summer vacation to the beginning of school. Hours on weekdays are 4 to 10. Hours on weekends are noon to 10. We're a community that welcomes non-residents. We're not strictly an enclosed community. So that's the option we have. We have lifeguards because, one, we want to keep everybody safe, and two, obviously the usage of the pools is higher when we have non-residents there. So we need to make sure that everybody's swimming and enjoying themselves safely. And it's an agreement we have that's been in place from the very beginning. Just like our parks are open, non-residents can come into our parks. We're a city/association. So we work both groups. And that's the reason for that. And that's more about pickleball courts. I've got a question here I'm going to read last because I'm not quite sure what it means, but I'll read it out. There is a large increase in the monthly assessments of the Master Association. We recognize that. But there are certain expense increases that we have to be able to cover other than cutting services. Landscape is one of them. Landscaping is at least, I mean, we've got a $2+ million budget for landscaping for the community. It's a large community with a lot of open spaces. We've got to be able to maintain it properly. And there are things that we want to do to increase the maintenance and the look of the community. One of the things that we've done in the past is the pre-emergent fertilizer, where it doesn't kill weeds. We would put it down in the spring to prevent the fall weeds from germinating. We put it down in the fall to prevent the spring weeds from germinating. Again, there's so much turf out here that we have to be able to do something other than hand pull every weed out here. And we don't spray as far as any type of weed killer. We use this pre-emergent, doesn't kill the weeds. It prevents the seeds from developing for the next season's weeds. The increase in the community patrol is not necessarily because of crime. We just have a lot of activities out here that we want the patrol to be able to find, look into, understand, and prevent it if it's something that people shouldn't be doing. We really don't have a lot of issues, and we get a report every day from the patrols showing all the places they've been to, representative. They don't take every picture of every street they've been on, and it details when there are issues, and it's good for us to know that, because then we can figure out a way to address those issues. We do not have a lot of crime out here, relatively speaking. We really don't, but we want to make sure it stays that way. So that's one of the major reasons for the increase in patrol time frame. This again was about the lifeguards. Landscape manager, okay. At a point in time, and I'm not trying to cut anybody short, but at a point in time we have to stop asking these questions because we have a lot more to do. And after this, it becomes fun, okay? You're not going to be bored by me talking.
Last question.
The irrigation system out here is huge. It is extensive. It's, I don't know, Roger, thousands of miles, hundreds of miles of irrigation system, of wiring and everything like that. And it's old and it breaks down on occasion, and that's why we're going through the process of trying to change out the controllers when they go bad, which they have to be changed out anyway, to the smart controllers, which we can then turn on and off as we need to by phone or through the internet. So if we get an after-hours emergency call on an irrigation leak, we don't have to send someone out here. Somebody can get to a phone, shut that system down, and we'll check it out the next business morning. So there's a huge advantage to being able to do that. There's an expense to it, but it's a worthwhile expense, at least in my opinion. And yes, we have had some reports of people being harassed in the neighborhoods. And again, that's one of the other reasons we have the patrol company out here. If something happens along those lines, again, I would always call 911 first. If there's any kind of situation that could end up causing someone harm or fear, call 911. Our patrols are supplemental. They don't arrest people or anything like that. They're there to see if they can prevent something from happening or seeing something alerting us to it, but call the police and they will absolutely respond to those types of situations. There's a question about landscape maintenance around the pools. Yes, there are birds out there, we're aware of it. There are fire ants out there too. We are treating that as much as we can. Some things are just going to require a lot of time to control and fix. Mowing once with the burrs is not going to help. Mowing every week, which we do for the pools, isn't going to help. It's something that's going to take time, where we have to dissuade those type of weeds from growing out there. This one is a really good question. It's asking what the goal for the reserve funds is for the row homes. I don't have those numbers in front of me, but I can get them to you. If you saw the slide, we're contributing. The row home group is contributing through various ways close to a little over $1 million in 25 to put into the reserve fund. There's a lot of activity that goes on with the row homes that has to be taken care of. And that will help tremendously, and that's what the reserves are for. This is the question I didn't quite understand. What percentage will Mueller represent in revenue to Cohere? We have a fixed rate that we pay Cohere. We will be paying Cohere monthly. There are some, variable charges that they're going to charge us for work they're doing for us. But it's a fixed rate. It's in the budget. You'll be able to see that information. I am out of questions. Oh, wait, no, I got two more. Very soon will the time for champagne be coming. That's when I'm trying to stop answering questions, because I want it myself too. It asked about if the Mueller POA is maintaining upkeep in the park around this building. This building here, if you're talking about this, yes, we do. That's Branch Park out there. We do maintain it. And we are aware of the fact that we need to add more sand to the volleyball pit. We're waiting for the proposal to come in from Urban Dirt to get that taken care of. And we'll get it done as soon as we possibly can. And with that, I'm done. Thank you very much.
Ready for some fun stuff again? Although that was very fun and riveting. Thank you, Joe. And actually, thank you. I don't mean to be dismissive. Those questions were very, very good. So thank you for those questions. Okay, we're going to do some drawings now. And again, the prizes we did before were for the trivia, just to celebrate the 20th anniversary. What we're doing now, what we've historically done, is for everyone who voted in the election, everyone who submitted a proxy, or everyone who's here this evening, we want to thank you all for participating, because that helps us get quorum, which we need to actually host this meeting, not have to reschedule it again. So with that, we've got a combination of either slips of paper or tickets. If you came here, those who are the slips of paper, I believe, are the people who may not be here but
Correct.
Came in advance. So we're going to do a combination of both, because you may remember, if you were here last year, we picked 10 names and all of them were not here. So that's kind of like, well, that's kind of ho-hum. So we want to make sure that some of you are present and have a chance to win. So the first prize is to Benjamin Strieber. Is Benjamin here by chance? If not, we will get him his gift card.
Okay, Alamo Draft House. Next.
Oh, that was to Alamo Draft House. Let's do it.
Bear 3?
Bar 3. Okay, this is a ticket, so get your tickets out. The number is 866087. Okay, understand, Betsy. There's a question about some people didn't get tickets. Is that correct?
Again, if you voted online or you submitted a proxy online, the name is in here, you don't get a ticket.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Betsy. So anyway, the number again, 866087. You got a prize winner. Excellent. Okay. The next person is Henning Spruth. Is Henning here? All right. That was Dish Society. What's the next prize?
Honest Mary's.
Honest Mary's, which just recently opened. The number is 866114. Oh, Mateo. 10 total. All right, the next name we're calling is David Stevens. Oh,
Kirby Lane.
that was to Kirby Lane. We'll make sure David gets his ticket. All right, the next ticket is 866054.
He's looking.
You memorize the number? Okay, excellent.
Okay.
Quackberry.
Oh, Lady Quacks. It's not Quackbackery. The screen says it's Lady Quack.
That's what their business, that's what their card says, Quack Bakery.
It says Quack Bakeries.
That's interesting. So Lam Han, or Han Lam, sorry. All right, we'll get their prize. All right, we have another ticket. The number is, this is to Rebel Cheese, 866060. All right, we have a winner.
Last name
Okay.
first and then the first name.
All right, we have another name here. It's Hayden Walker. And the prize is for?
Sweet Green.
Sweet Green. All right, I think this is our last prize.
Veracruz.
This is to Veracruz, Fonda. 866055. Excellent. And those are all $50 gift cards, if I understand correctly. I do want to take a quick moment to thank our sponsors for this evening. Just so you know, the POA did not pay for all of this, so we didn't use your money to put together all of this. We were using other people's money. And so I want to thank, first of all, Papa's Roofing for catering Chewy's this evening. I want to thank SRT, our security company, for providing the bun cakes from Nothing Bun Cakes. Coke here helped us with some of these prizes here this evening. And Urban Therapy in our landscape company was very happy to support our drinks, both our mocktails and the champagne toast orders. We have two more trivia questions. Why was Isamu Taniguchi honored with Miller's 10th park name? And Janet McCann cannot answer that question. Go ahead.
Didn't he start the garden in the Japanese garden down in the Butterfly?
Yes, he did. Correct. That's the correct answer. He and his family were also in an internment camp during World War II. They were moved from California to Texas. After that period, he moved up to be with his son, who was a University of Texas architecture major professor, and that's how he got to the Zilker Botanical Gardens. So well done there. And the designer of that park is here this evening, Jana McCann. So we give a shout out to her. I think we have one more trivia question. Yep, we do. How many sunflower sculptures are there along Miller's Regional Retail Center? You raise your hand first. Go ahead. No, that's not correct. She said 5. Go ahead, ma'am.
4.
No.
6.
You're just gonna be random guessing, aren't we? Go ahead. No. Did you say? 8. Nope.
9.
No. 12 is the latest answer. No.
5.
No, that was 5 was already called. 14, no. 10, 13, no. 16, no. Go ahead.
4.
No. Go ahead, ma'am.
3.
No. Every number has been called except for the one that it is. No, it's not 18, not 10. Not 11, not 4. Go ahead. 15 is what you said? It's 15. I think we're ready to change out the next presentation. They all should be working now. We actually spent quite a bit of time and effort on redoing those. They are solar powered again, and they may not shine as brightly after 10 p.m., but they are on first in the evening. We're just changing out the slides. I'm going to give a quick developer update. I guess, do we have to officially adjourn the meeting?
Yes.
I think we're at that point. Huh? You already did that. You already announced what you were doing.
You announced- Oh, okay, all right.
Okay. Joe, do you want to walk us through the process of adjourning the meeting then?
Yes, we need in case y'all want to continue this meeting, that's okay. You have to vote my motion down, but I'd like a motion to adjourn the official mixed-use meeting.
So moved.
And a second? Okay, thank you very much. All those in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Completed. And we estimate about 14,200 people are living in Miller today between the apartments, condos, and homes. It's based on a formula that someone in our office creates. I don't know what the formula is. It may be a little bit off or here or there, and it may not be exactly the census, but it's close enough. Yes? Yes?
In the two voting precincts we have in Miller, we have 15,000 registered voters.
Okay, thank you. He's saying that we have 15,000 registered voters in the two precincts that represent Miller. Again, this is just based on the formula that we have. On the retail side, we have about 680,000 square feet of retail completed, with just a little bit more left to build out. We've got 10,300 employees working in Miller, or at least that's the capacity. Of course, not everyone may be working every day post-COVID. We have 160 businesses operating in Miller. That includes the retailers, that includes Texas Mutual, Ascension, Seton, etc. It also includes Associa, Catellus, the home builders, etc. And based on those numbers, we're about a little over 60% local. And just as a reminder for folks, the master development agreement between the city and Catellus said that we need to make a good faith effort to try to get 30% of the businesses only in the town center to be local. That number is actually closer to 78% right now, which we're very proud of that fact. And we're so glad that you are enjoying those businesses and keep enjoying them. But overall, even when you count the regional retail center, the HEB center, the shop homes, the food trailers, etc., we're at about 60%. So we're really excited about that. And we don't necessarily have 50 eateries open yet, but by the time that we have some others that we haven't even quite announced yet, but we're finalizing deals, we'll have about 55 eateries in Miller. We have 11 parks completed now. We have one more to go that's under construction over by the tower that should be completed toward the end of early part of next year. And we're about 137 acres completed right now. The original plan was 140 acres, or 20% of all the land dedicated to open space. We're now looking at 144, so we've added a little bit more open space than we originally intended. I won't go through this slide a whole lot. This just kind of shows you what the build-out projections are. 6,900 homes, as I mentioned, 144 acres of green space. I said 680,000 square feet of retail so far. We'll have about 737 upon completion. That's what we're thinking right now. Had quite a few number of businesses open in 2024. Of course, Chewy's right across the street from here. I know everyone was really excited about that one. In addition to having teachers' retirement system, we now have the City of Austin retirement system is now located here. If you're not sure where they are, they're in what used to be the Seedle building, one of our first buildings here along Miller Boulevard. They own the building and they occupy the first floor, with WGI Engineering occupying the third. Nothing But Cakes. Nando's is scheduled to open next week on the 12th. So get excited for South African peri-peri chicken in the Origin Hotel. And then on the residential update, obviously we've still been building some homes in the last section of homes, section 11. But a lot of the work we've been doing this past year has been apartments and condos. As you can see up here, Amley has opened Branch Park. They're pre-leasing North Park right now. And most of these apartment communities have 15% of their units available for those who make 60% or less median family income. Parkside Condos has opened. I think there's a few residents that have moved in here since last year. It's 200 total units there. And then the project that In Town Homes is building, and I know they've been building it for a very, very long time, Mateo. It's called Concourse. It's 90 units total. They hopefully will be completed early next year. We will see. And then the other project that they're building over by the Performing Arts Center is called Iris, that will have a total of 31 condos, including some shop homes. Coming in 2025, we will be announcing more Alder Street businesses. I think before the end of this month, we'll be announcing at least 4, maybe 2 others that will be coming to Aldrich Street that I think y'all will be really excited about. There is a piece of land just north of the middle school. It's a little field that will be operated by probably a nonprofit organization. We're still kind of working through the details on that. We'll probably announce that sometime early next year. The Roger Levon Taylor Senior Plaza is the official name of the plaza that's being built around the tower. Again, we think that will open in the first quarter of 2025. Metro Rapid was originally supposed to have two services down Berkman in 2023. They got delayed, but they're scheduled now for Q2 of next year, sometime in the spring. And some of you may be aware that there's Mueller has a parking transportation management district out here where some of the funds that are collected from the street parking goes to various projects. And we've now formed an official committee of members that are represented by the Mueller Neighborhood Association, some from the Property Owner Association, and also from the Merchants Association along Aldrich Street. So they'll be getting together in 2025 to kind of figure out what some of those projects might be with some of the funding that's been collected there. What I thought I'd do real quickly, and again, you'll be able to look at this more closely in the packet that'll be available online, but for those of you who may be new to the project, or those of you who've been here since the very beginning, raise your hand if you're a pioneer. I was one too. I used to live on Long Street at the very beginning. You might recognize some of this a little bit more. Those of you who are newer to the community, you might be a little surprised that, of course, you all knew there was an airport, but to realize the progress has been made. This is a picture of Dell Children's breaking ground in 2004. And I'm going to see, I think, yeah, this is Dell Children's right here. You can see the outline of Lake Park right here, and this is the hangar and Miller Central. I'm going to advance to this kind of every 2 years, every 18 months or so, just so you don't have to go through every single thing, but you can see Dell Children's making progress there. You can still see the old runways. This is the first set of homes in 2008, and a lot of these homes are still under construction at this time frame of January. The first people, I think, family moved in was in November of 2007. I personally moved in February of 2008, so I lived on, I lived on Emma Long Street, and so you'll see, you didn't even have, Lake Park wasn't completed, there certainly was no Ella Wooten Park and no pool at that point. So in July of 2010, you'll see that a good portion of the first section of homes were getting completed. We did, in fact, then get Ella Wooten and the pool open. The Southwest Greenway was being completed at that time. Lake Park was done, and making plans for newer sections to come. And then it takes you kind of back over to the commercial area. You'll see by now, Dell Children's, of course, is open by here. The first apartment complex, Mosaic, has been completed. The only building still to date for the University of Texas site is Dell Children, or Dell Pediatric Research Institute, located here. You see the regional retail center is built, but even the residence inn is not completed, or has started construction at this point. Yes, Wildfire Terrace opened that year. Thank you. This kind of shows the next section of homes and kind of jumping over to across Berkman for the first time. You'll see that the children's shelter had built out the first of the Rathfever Village area over here, but they were still kind of isolated from the rest of the community back then. The Performing Arts Center is also open at this point. And now we jump to August 2026. Again, established homes, new homes under construction, Wildfire Terrace, new homes getting ready to start construction up here. We've got the Thinkery now open, a couple more apartment complexes. And then we go to 2018, just more kind of a lot of the same, except building up a lot of the homes. You'll see that we've got John King Gaines Park is now open at this point. 2020, back over to the regional retail center. is here. Dell Children's is here. They've expanded their campus by this point. Started adding some buildings and offices, Texas Mutual in the town center, and of course still continuing to grow the residential. We're now to 2022, where you now are starting to actually see the trees come in above the homes in the first section. You'll see kind of getting ready for Rivette by Ryan Companies. Section of homes now is crossing over to from Tilly Street. The Southeast Greenway has come in. Still more development across the board. And then our last slide, I wish I had one even a little more current than April 2024, but we had some aerials taken that was a little too cloudy, so you can't see it as well. But this is giving you a general sense of kind of where we are today. We've got the school completed now with their track. Carrillo Garcia Park. You've got the complex here for Austin Studios. You've got the Jordan now located here. You've been just the Andrews Park. A lot more construction here for the regional retail center, and of course a lot more homes built in during this period. And with that, I'll take any questions that are specific to development, and I'll just do that kind of with a raise of hands if anyone has any questions about the development itself. Yes, sir.
On your slide, right across from the Jordan and the school, there's a really big plot, not the one you talked about before, a big plot of land which hasn't been developed yet. What's going to happen to that?
I believe you're referring to, this is the land along Philomena Street across from the school, the Jordan, and also, yeah, I guess those two areas. That will be a dense residential development, either apartments or condos, with some affordable homes in there. We're not anticipating any first floor retail with that space, so for those of you who wanted it, I'm sorry. For those of you who didn't want it, congratulations, because we get a lot of questions about that. That's probably one of our last pieces to be developed, and I don't have any information in terms of who's going to be developing it at this point. We probably won't even know who the developer is until maybe mid next year, and then it'll take some time to go through the process. So that was going to be a little bit delayed. Bonnie?
Yes, some of you know I support the seniors and we've been working and I've been talking to Greg Weaver about bringing this neighborhood kind of senior care project to Miller. Do you know what's happening with that?
I don't actually. I don't have any updates related to I believe you're primarily referring to the site at 51st and Berkman?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, we can talk offline from there. Any other questions? Yes, sir, in the back.
Are any of these slides available on the website or
All of these slides, along with the slides that were earlier for the presentation that Joe Ristuccia gave, will be available on Town Square, hopefully as early as tomorrow, but latest on Monday. Yes, sir.
Out of curiosity, why would the new apartments only have 15% required affordability instead of 25%?
The goal of Miller is 25% of all of the homes in Miller be available, 25% of all of the homes, whether it's apartments, condos, or homes, be that. We have 3 tax credit projects, the Jordan, Aldrich 51 and Wildflower Terrace, where the majority of those apartments are affordable, and so the 15% kind of evens that out. Andrew?
Brian, you mentioned north of the school, a small nonprofit. You're talking about that grassy field, that's the future parking lot.
Yeah, we're talking about this area right here. This open spot will be probably available to some organization that would have a connection to the school. And the area we talked about earlier in terms of the kind of the dense residential area is the area right here. Thanks for allowing me to point that out. Mateo?
Just curious about the new trail piece that goes behind the school that connects that spot to the, I guess it's the utilities. It's kind of like just bordered by an overgrown chain link fence, or y'all gonna finish that out like other neighbors?
We would like to do that, but we don't own that fence and we don't own the property that fence is on. That fence is owned by Troublemaker Studios, and we have talked to them on many occasions about trying to do something with that, and they have been resistant. We've even reminded them before the school was built, that, you know, if they're trying to keep any of their projects secret, they have a school that's going to be built right there with, you know, 3 stories where students can, you know, take their phones and easily, you know, record things. But they've been unfortunately a little resistant to kind of do stuff. I'm sure we can have another conversation with them, but unfortunately we don't have much control over that. I'll have to look into that. I don't know. I haven't been over that area yet. I understand that the trail open, but I haven't had a chance to go by there yet. Yes, ma'am.
Did you talk about the block between Route 51, 51st Street and Berkeley?
I'm sorry, say that again?
August 51,
Uh-huh.
51st Street and Berkeley. That block.
Oh, let me see if I can go back to one of the previous slides that would have that. Oh. Are you talking about right here? It hasn't been determined yet. That'll also be one of our last blocks to develop. There's been various talks in the past for various developers that just haven't, you know, come to fruition, and so that we don't have anyone identified for that spot right now. Yes, sir. You're talking about the UT land, which is UT has the opportunity to develop these 14 acres. We've been talking to them for a number of years, and I think that they put a bit of a hold as they were building the campus over by UT, and they're trying to figure out what they want to do with that land, and we're kind of waiting for them to get back to us on that. We'll probably be pushing them forward to kind of make some decisions next year. All right, with no other questions, I think we're going to conclude this part of the agenda, and hopefully, does everyone get... Oh, I'm sorry, yes, Diane.
Would you ask the mixed-use board to stand up so that we can see who these folks are?
Yes, but I don't think many of us are here this evening. The mixed-use board members, if you'll...
Especially the new ones.
Oh, yeah, the new ones, yeah, that'd be great, yeah. If you are well, all of our mixed-use board members, whether previous or just recently elected, please do stand. Karen, Andy, Tim, Michael, Kathy, Joe, anyone? Thank you for everyone's service. With that, did everyone when they get their fun cake also get champagne? All right, excellent. Figure out how I can do this. Sorry, I wrote a toast. Okay, so I think everyone here will agree that Miller is a special place, and that any frustration and even every concern with a park or a pool or an event stems from a love for this community. So let's all remember that common element as we work together to make Miller the best mixed use, mixed income, transit-oriented, fiscally responsible, East Austin supportive, sustainable, compatible, revitalizing, diverse, and affordable community it can be. With that, please raise your glass. Here's to everyone who lives in and around Miller. Here's to everyone who came to this meeting and those who couldn't make it. Here's to everyone who is paid by or volunteers for the POA. And here's to everyone who pronounces our community Miller or Mueller. Thank you for everything you have done to help make Miller so special for the past 20 years, and for everything you will do to keep Miller's momentum going for the next 20 years. Cheers. Enjoy your evening. That's it. This is good.